Algebra 2, folks, welcome to 5.3. We're looking at probability and how we can use combinations and permutations to find probability. So, time to take this one step further and try and figure out what the heck we're talking here. Probability is basically the likelihood of something happening. It's going to be your successful, what you want to have happen, over everything that could happen. So this bottom part is going to be how many items are in your sample space, or how many different situations do you have. The probability of an event occurring is always between 0 and 1. The closer it is to 0, the less likely it's going to occur. The closer it gets to 1, the more likely it's going to get. Okay, so you're always going to have a fraction. So if my probability is 9 over 10, then that's going to be highly likely. And if my probability is, 1 out of 12, then that's going to be unlikely. So if someone says, I'm 101% sure I know more about probability than you, you can say, no, you're wrong, and plus your hat looks funny. So here's what we're talking about. So a bag, 4 blue, 3 green, 6 red. What's the probability that 1 marble was green? So you have 3 marbles that are green out of a grand total of 13 marbles. So that's going to be my probability. So if I reach in the bag again, draw a marble, figure out that it was not red. Okay, so not red means it can be blue or it can be green. Okay, so I want the blue and the green, so that's going to be 7 out of 13. So that's going to be my probability that's not red, because I got 6 red marbles. I need anything but red, so that's why that goes on top. So what's the probability of selecting 2 vowels from the word algebra? Well, I got 1, 2, 3, 3 vowels. So that means everything else out of 7 letters. So that means it's 4 consonants. So that's going to be 3 out of 7. So that's going to be my probability. So Julie has a collection of 32 albums on her iPad, 18 R&B, 14 rap. As she is leaving her trip, she randomly chooses 6 albums to make a new playlist. What is the probability she chooses 3 R&B and 3 rap? So let's take a look here. 18, 14. So what's the probability she selects 3 R&B and 3 rap? So that's going to be 3 out of 14 for the rap, and then 3 out of 18 for the R&B. And means I'm going to multiply both of those. So I multiply both of those together. So when I do that, it simplifies to 1 over 28, about. So that is my possibility that I choose 3 R&B and 3 rap. So if I mix this up, Julie now has 6 albums, 3 R&B, and 3 rap. If she randomly selects an album to be played in each algebra, what is the probability that she will play Michael Jackson R&B album and an Eminem rap album as her first 2 albums? So she's got 1 out of 6 for the Michael Jackson album, and then she's got 1 out of 5 for the Eminem album. So 6 total. Then once I choose one, then I'd have 5 left. So that's going to be a 1 in 30 shot that's what's going to happen. So a board game is played with tiles and letters on one side, 56 tiles, 42 tiles with vowels, 56 consonants. You got to choose 7 of the tiles. What's the probability that a player selects 4 consonants and 3 vowels? So I'm going to take 4 out of 56. I'm going to multiply it by 3 out of 42. All right, because it says and. If it said or, I'd say plus. But if it's and, I'm going to multiply those two. So 56 can be divided by 4. So it simplifies to 1 over 14. 42 can be divided by 3. So that becomes 1 over 14 as well. So this really becomes 1 over 196. That ends up being my probability there. So for the next semester, list is assigned for English, pre-calc, Spanish, geography, and chemistry classes. If class schedules are assigned randomly and each class is equally likely to be at any time of day, what is the probability that Alyssa's first 2 classes in the morning will be pre-calc and chemistry in that order? So once again, if I got 5 classes, What's the probability it's going to be pre-calc and chemistry in either order? So if it can either be pre-calc chemistry or chemistry pre-calc, basically. So I've got two choices here, one choice here. Then after that, I don't care. So I've got 3, 2, 1. So that's going to be my probability. So that's going to be all the possible ways that that can happen. So it's kind of like, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So that's going to be 12 over everything that possibly could happen. Everything that possibly could happen is going to be just 5 factorial. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that's going to be out of 120 different possibilities. So that's going to be 12 out of 120, so it's going to be 1/10. So 1 in 10 chance that you're going to have that happen. So theoretical probability is what you think will have happened. Experimental probability means you actually did the experiment, and this is what did happen. So if you flip a coin 10 times, in theory, it should be 5 heads and 5 tails. If you flip a coin 10 times, and it's going to land 7 times and tails 3 times, then that's what actually happened. But the more times you experiment, the closer you should get to this. All right, so hand of 4 cards from a standard deck of cards. What's the probability that all 4 cards are hearts? So was this theoretical or experimental? So here's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to think about it as a probability. So I want 13, choose 4, because there's 13 hearts, and I want 4 of them. Out of 52, choose 4. All right, and why did I do that? Because I got 13 hearts to choose from. I don't care what order they're in, so but I just want 4 of them. So I want 13, choose 4. So that's going to be 715. Then I have 52, choose 4. So that's going to be 270725. So 715 divided by that is going to simplify to 11 over 4,165. There's my answer. That's an 11, not a 4. So that's going to be theoretical, because I didn't actually draw the card. I didn't actually draw cards. I just guessed at what probably would. So 2 dice are rolled. What's the probability that you roll a sum of 5? So if I look, what is my sum of 5? Well, there's 4 sums of 5 out of 36. So that's going to be a probability of 1/9. And again, that's going to be theoretical because I did not actually roll dice. I just looked at what could happen and made my based on that. So odds are another way of stating the likelihood of an event. Suppose that your odds against winning a contest are 5 to 2. That means for every 5 chances of losing, you have 2 chances of winning. So if you look, odds are built like this. You go favorable to unfavorable, odds in favor, odds against. So the odds against are like 6 to 1 against means that there's 6 different ways they wouldn't win to 1 way they would. So odds in favor, put it on favorable on top. Odds against, put unfavorable on top. So in some skating competitions, the order is determined by random drawing. Suppose a competition involves 5 skaters. Find the probability that the skaters will perform in alphabetical order. Well, that's going to be, so this is all going to be based on the idea that 5 orders, 5 skaters go in order. So that means there's 100 different possibilities. So there's only one way, though, that they're going to be in alphabetical order, so that's going to be 1 in 120. Find the odds in favor of the 5 skaters performing in alphabetical order. So that's going to be 1 to 119. Okay, see the difference? This is the way it would work. This is every single way it wouldn't work. So the odds against the 5 skaters would be 119 to 1. Then the probability the skaters will not perform in alphabetical order is going to be 119 out of 120. So, if looking at here, suppose the probability of an event is 24%. What are the odds in favor and against? So probability is 24%. That's 24 out of 100. So just as a fraction. So the odds in favor of that event would be 24 to 76. That would be the odds in favor. And the odds against are just going to be that flipped around, 76 out of 24. All right, come talk to me with questions, play around with this, but this gets kind of tricky because you got to take everything into account. Thank you very much. Have a good day.